So the Pies lose the prelim to the Lions. Gutted, shattered. Let's talk about it. So a little bit different because I'm in the car off to my brother's Bucks, and I'm not going to have a chance to record a video, so I wanted to record it now. I feel like Jake from Saints TV, so shout out to Jake. But I am gutted. That was, yeah, not the way you want to lose a game. The Lions, look, credit to the Lions first up. They were just too good. You know, the midfield, they were humming. The way they were getting themselves out of trouble, like handballing out of trouble, they looked so much cleaner. Uncontested possessions, they were up. Marks, Harris Andrews, Fly before the game said we had, plan A, plan B, plan C on Harris Andrews. It didn't look like we had D, E, F, G, or H. He just looked incredible in that third quarter. He took 3 intercept marks. I think he finished with 6 or 7 maybe. I don't have the stats in front of me. But just in general, for our season to end like this is how our season ends. It doesn't feel real, but ultimately, these last 2 games, the Adelaide game and this Brisbane game, really just made sense in the way that our season went. So you think of the Adelaide game, and that was, rounds 1 to 17, let's say. Then you think of this Brisbane game, and that very much was rounds 18 to, 24. That's what it kind of felt like. So it was a bit of a repeated sort of history. I don't know, but you can't win a prelim winning just one game. Just one quarter. Like, that second quarter was absolutely ridiculous. I thought we started off really, really well. The first 10 or so minutes, we were pressuring, we were we were doing everything right. We just didn't get the goals on the scoreboard. They obviously went in and kicked 4 goals in that first quarter. But then the second quarter happened and something changed, and we had a spark and we had a difference, and we looked absolutely incredible. Like a 6-goal quarter and 6 really good goals, and we looked like we were humming. We looked like the Collingwood of old. And we kept Brisbane goalless. And I thought, okay, we're up at halftime. All right, like we're looking pretty good. I was still a little bit nervous and stuff, but we were looking pretty good. And then Brisbane come out in that third quarter and then absolutely demoralise us. They kicked 3 really quick goals to put themselves in front. And then they went on and kicked, 6 or 7 goals in that third quarter. And then the last quarter, it was just junk time goals that they were kicking. And, in that last quarter, when Mason Cox, that long bloody review, Mason Cox kicked that goal. I was like, all right, here we go. We're back on. We're only 2 goals down. Then Tim Membry takes a mark, goes to hit Jamie Elliott, and then Jamie Elliott gets manhandled, front on contact, doesn't get the free kick, and that's when that's when the game was done. Membry goes back and converts that, or hits Jamie Elliott a little bit better, and we are 6 points away from Brisbane. Ultimately, turn into a 30-point or 29-point loss. So it's those little what ifs, and I know Fly always says that we can't live in what ifs because ultimately that's what kills you, but it's hard not to think about it. I do want to sort of talk about, Scott Pendlebury, right? Does his calf in the first few minutes, and I think that did really change the trajectory of our game a little bit because, Pendlebury is Pendlebury. You need him on the field. So it was said that he was talking to the doctors before the game that something was going on with his calf. And he was, he said, and then there's Poppy. And he said that he felt it pop. So he said that to Josh Dacos, that he felt it pop. So there was obviously something going on with it. He thought he could play in it. With what was happening to it, and then ultimately it doesn't sort of work out. I think where we went wrong was selection. I really do wholeheartedly 120% believe that Brody Mychek shouldn't have played this game, not because he's not a fantastic player. He is a fantastic player. And, if McStay played, would they have changed it a little bit? Probably not. It is what it is. But I noticed that Brody Mychek was handballing a lot more than he was kicking. When he was kicking, he wanted to use his left foot, not his right foot, which is his kicking foot, which is the one with the broken toe or the dislocated toe or whatever it sort of may be. And then, it's the whole Bobby Hill thing. Like, Bobby Hill would have been fantastic. Bobby Hill would have been fantastic today. And maybe we should have just rolled the dice. But I do think McStay could have given us a lot more than Brody Myercheck did. So, that's that piece. I think we did get it wrong with selection as well. And then, of course, we have to talk about the umpires. They were absolutely atrocious. And I know, it's easy for Collingwood supporters to come on and, say, oh, the umpires are this, the umpires are that. But even neutrals would say that the umpires absolutely stiffed us. I talked about that Jamie Elliott one in front of goal. That should have been a free kick. And I know we got some free kicks and they got some free kicks. My mind goes to the Bo McCreary deliberate out of bounds or insufficient intent. He was kicking it to Tim Membry. Tim Membry was right there, and they get called insufficient intent. Like, I don't know, like there were some calls that just weren't getting called that really frustrated me. And that's not why we lost. I know that's not why we lost, but they did get gifted. Lions. I'm gonna say the Lions got gifted a bunch of goals for free kicks that probably usually go unnoticed, or they're not there, or whatever it may be. And maybe it's just me having a sook and being biased, but trying to cope a little bit. But ultimately we lose a prelim, and I thought we were going to win. I thought it was going to be a really close game, and like I said, I thought after that second quarter, I thought here we go. Like we're a half closer to a grand final berth against the Cats, but ultimately that doesn't happen. Now, I haven't watched Fly's presser yet, and I probably won't do a Fly's presser video, but I think there's going to be a lot of soul searching at this club and who we try to look to bring in. I don't know, man. This is the team that smashed Adelaide. Like, there's no way we just had one good game in us and then we come up and do this. We just didn't have answers for Brisbane. That was it. We just didn't have answers for Brisbane. I'm pretty gutted. I'm pretty shattered as well. But that's where I'll end this video. Thank you for coming on the journey with me. There's obviously going to be more trade and draft and all this other stuff that sort of comes with it. But our season is officially over in the worst circumstances. So, thanks for coming on with me. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.